viewers, this is Just Work Network TV, a home of accurate news and current news. For those who subscribe to our channel, God bless you for subscribing. And if you're yet to do so, please kindly press the subscription button below. And now the news in details. I will stop desperate politicians, says Buhari. President Muhammadu Buhari said yesterday that he will not allow those vying for the presidency in 2023 to use his name to force themselves on Nigerians. He said anyone craving to occupy a political office must work hard to achieve his goal by convincing the electorate instead of dropping his name. Buhari stated this yesterday at the presidential villa in Abuja while fielding questions from journalists at a brief event to mark his 77th birthday, assuring that he would guarantee an atmosphere for free and fair election in 2023. Daily Trust recalls that since 2003, many politicians have used Buhari's popularity and name to win elections. And most recently, the tussle for the presidency has begun in earnest as politicians from both North and South are scheming to have an edge ahead of party primaries and the general elections. While responding to inquiries on the development, Buhari did not mention any politicians planning to use his name to run in 2023, but assured that he will not give themselves room to achieve ulterior motive. What I want to promise Nigeria is that I will work hard on free and fair election, the president said. All those that are going to succeed in the National Assembly and the presidency, they better work hard. They better work very hard, because I will make sure using the law enforcement agencies that elections are free and fair, that nobody uses his office or resources to force himself on his constituency, he said. When asked of his message to corrupt elements and economic saboteur, Buhari said, well, like I said, I have learned the hard way. When I came in uniform, I collected those who were leading, took them to Kirikiri, and took them. They were guilty until they could prove themselves innocent. I put in place, in almost all the geopolitical zones, committees to investigate them. Those that were found to have lived beyond their means, the balance was taken and were given to the state. But I myself was arrested and detained. But they, corrupt politicians, gave back what they had stolen. So under this system, which is supposed to be more accountable, it is too slow for my liking, but I have to follow it. While speaking on his birthday gift to Nigerians, Buhari urged them to exhibit a high sense of patience and patriotism in order to bequeath a worthwhile legacy to future generations. What we see as rule, nobody can have his own way. We better accept the truth that we are one. God has blessed us with land, people, and resources. We must have the patience to exploit them and leave something for our future generation, he said. Asked to express his feelings at 77, the president said, I feel well at 77. A lot of others at 77 are on crutches, and I am working on my 2 feet. I think I have come to accept the reality of leadership in Nigeria. You can only try. It is a terrific country. No matter what you do, there are people on daily basis that look for your faults and go to the press. So you have to learn to live with that. Daily Trust reports that many incumbent and former governors, senators, and other influential people in both the ruling All Progressive Congress and the opposition People's Democratic Party are reportedly already holding national meetings ahead of 2023. Reports have it that in APC, the national leader of the APC of the party, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Senator Roka Sokorocha, Governor Nasir El-Rufai, as well as some serving and former governor from the North and South, are all trying to curry favor from Buhari. In PDP, ex-Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Governor Aminu of Sokoto State, and former Governor Rabiu of Kano State are all gearing up for the presidency. Agitation by ethnic champions from the 6 geopolitical zones to produce the president is equally eating up the polity. It was reported last week that Borno State, Governor Babangana Zulum obstructed a move by Governor Kayode Fayemi, Nasser El-Rufai, Abubakar Badaru, and Atiku Bagudu to convince President Buhari to remove Comrade Adams Oshiomhole as APC national chairman. The move was reportedly part of the elaborate plan to pave way for one of them to replace the president in 2023. A credible source with knowledge of what happened during the governor's meeting with Buhari confirmed the development last night when contacted by one of our correspondents. He said it was true that some politicians were planning to remove Oshiomhole not for altruistic purpose but for personal gain. It is all part of the post-Buhari era and the president must watch very carefully, he said. It is all about 2023. Besides those that want to change some equations, in the APC there are some people who are not bothered about some salient issues. In fact, left to them, the issues of zoning, demographic balancing, and other considerations have been forgotten simply because they want power, he said. So my viewers today, what is your own take? What is your own opinion about what our Mr. Muhammadu Buhari said about the forthcoming election? Do you think he's actually right about it? And a lot of people made a comment and said, thank God, when I was desperate and got my way, I can close road against others. Thank God we can correct the future from our past mess. My question is this, during his own tenure, during his own election, does it mean that they did not rig any election? Does it mean that it was free and fair election? That was a big lie. Because I believe, to me, when they did presidential election, it was totally rigged. It wasn't a free and fair election. Probably Buhari knows that he is not going for the next election. That is why he is actually talking about this. And somebody said, who is more desperate than you? Of course, Buhari is more desperate. If you have a name, they should cash from it. This only show you life in your own world within the circumference of Aso Rock Villa. Sir, on the contrary, you have no name. Nigerians voted for you out, but you rigged and manipulated yourself into it and promising free and fair election that you know nothing about, neither do you believe it. Of course, just as I've said earlier, during his own time, it was not a free and fair election. It was a rigged election. And somebody said, because you are not contesting against, right? Absolutely right. Because Buhari is not contesting again. That is why this man is actually saying that free and fair election. And somebody said, God will stop them all, including yourself. God will stop anybody that is obstructing the progress, that is obstructing the success in Nigeria. God will obstruct them, most especially the politicians. And somebody said, hypocrisy upon hypocrisy. Allegiance for saying one thing and doing another. Anyway, there is an ideology in the Quran which holds that using lies and deceit in dealing with infidel is not a sin. Welcome to the next level. And said, after benefiting immensely from the desperados, you are thinking of turning the table just to favor your cronies in the name of stopping desperate politicians. We can easily predict your instant, our 8th president, sir. If Jonathan stopped you, then your intention to stop otherwise will succeed. If not, then you shall fail. You don't talk as if you are God. You've not even reached 2023, let alone deciding for shame. And they said, I heard General Buhari is talking about desperate politician. Yes, this man is actually just talking about desperate politician because he himself is also desperate. Why is he forgetting so soon how desperate he was to rule Nigeria after contesting 3 times and lost, and vowed to make sure the blood of monkeys and bamboos flow if he didn't win the 2015 general election? General Buhari doesn't have any moral ground to talk about desperate politicians because General Buhari is also desperate. How about the Kogi election that was orchestrated by his government? Recently, when his anointed Yahaya Bello was rejected by the indigenes of the state, he deployed choppers from Abuja alongside fake police in order to unleash pain on the poor electorate and cater away with the ballot boxes. in the presence of INEC officials, yet the same man defied all of this and came out to talk about desperation. Who could have been more desperate than you, General Buhari? In fact, I'm short of word because Buhari is actually talking in the opposite direction, because he himself and his party, they are absolutely more desperate than any other people. And he is here, standing here to talk about desperation. He is the most desperate and corrupt man among the politicians. And a lot of people made a comment and they were just against Mr. Muhammadu Buhari. They said, yeah, sir, you were not desperate. Why did the declaration of the flow of monkeys and bamboo? So, during your campaign, during the past election, if you are human being created by God, will you be sincere to yourself that APC did not rig themselves to power? Oh, absolutely right. APC rigged themselves to power. APC forced themselves to power. Almighty God is watching you, Major General Buhari. Every effort you and your cabal is putting in place to make Nigeria your kingdom will surely fail. Just came out to tell us that you will stop Tinubu, who is now as desperate as you were. So after you used the selfish southern leaders to fight for your desperation, you are closing border to desperation. I won't blame you. It is very good for Tinubu. Tinubu's put us in this hardship. God is making sure Buhari is pitching in with suffering. You cannot rob the poor and last with heat. No way. Obviously, you cannot rob the poor and last with heat. Buhari has done a lot of things that is not even supposed to be accepted in the state, in the government. And now this man is coming out to talk about desperation. Who is more desperate? I will keep saying it. Our president is more desperate than any other people. Trust me. And now is how to talk about he wants to make the election free and fair election. How? How? When he himself rigged the whole thing. APC people, they rigged everything. And here he's coming out to talk about desperation. God is watching. God is definitely watching. So viewers today, what do you think about this news? What is in your own opinion? Kindly drop your comments at the comment section below. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. God bless you.